involved now. Be on the right side of history. Be on the side of good. Wear the white hat. This is your chance to be involved in human history.
You get in my face with that, I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You fucking goddamn fucker.
There's a fucking murder right down the hall.
We should not submit to dehumanization. I don't know about you, but I'm concerned with what's happening in this world. We're going to stand up and we're going to be human beings. We're going to get fired up about the real things, the things that matter. Creativity and the dynamic human spirit that refuses to submit. Well, that's it. That's all I got to say. It's in your court.
This whole thing is illegal to begin with. You all should be citizen arrested for what you're doing. Shame on you, aiding and abetting child trafficking.
The fact is that we're on a good path at the border under leadership of President Biden. It's about three things. It's about restructuring how we do what is happening there, because we were in a very bad situation under the Trump administration.
Earlier today, the Texas Health and Human Services Commission and the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services separately received tips that allege child abuse and neglect at the federal government's child migrant facility at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio behind me. These problems are a byproduct of President Biden's open border policies.
Hey, we need the police over here. They got a bunch of kids in the car seats. You're violating Texas law.
Who is this right here?
Hey,
you have no comments.
You got those children illegally.
You're about to run a human being over.
You got those children in there.
Who are you?
You got those smuggled children illegally.
Why should you be alarmed about the crisis on the United States southern border? Well, because history is repeating itself on purpose.
Yesterday, we watched literally hundreds of illegal migrants crossing the border and turning themselves into the Border Patrol. Groups in the company of children who were under 7 had their basic biometric information taken down and then dispatched to bus stations to continue into the United States.
We are in a battle for the very definition of who we are as a nation. Who are we? That is the question that our culture, our nation right now is asking. And people need to begin to rise up and begin to speak out and push back against the lunacy and the illogic that is being used right now to divide us.
The United States looks just like ancient Rome did in its final days. Of course, Rome didn't fall in a day, but when it finally received its death blow in 476 AD, its world power status had declined due to several corrosive reasons. Germanic tribes had beaten Roman forces into submission as Rome had overextended its military and its defense budget. Government corruption had reached epic proportions, and slave labor dried up, forcing the complacent, unskilled Romans to fend for themselves. Sound familiar?
Not many of us say to our sons and daughters, I'm hoping the day will come when you decide to go and pick fruit for a living. Hardly ever hear that.
One of the most often made arguments with regard to immigration is that they only do jobs that Americans don't want. But in a recent analysis, we actually looked at all 474 occupations as defined by the Department of Commerce and found that there were only 6 that were majority immigrant, and those jobs only account for about 1% of the U.S. workforce.
But the final knife in Rome's back was that it lost its identity. Most importantly, Rome allowed the barbarian hordes to settle within its borders, which eventually led to an uprising, putting an end to the identity of a 1,000-year-old world power civilization. Fast forward to 2021, and the United Nations has already decided for every citizen in the United States that over the next 50 years, you will need to be replaced by a foreign population.
As you know, the Secretary General has been concerned about this for a long time, and I'm very pleased that he's launched this program against xenophobia. If all of the migrants, recently arrived migrants in New York City, were to form a city, they'd probably be the third or fourth largest city in the United States.
As it reads from the United Nations' own website on replacement migration, United Nations projections indicate that over the next 50 years, the populations of virtually all countries will face population decline and population aging. The report considers replacement migration for 8 low fertility countries: France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Russian Federation, United Kingdom, and the United States. Ask yourself, do we really need the United Nations' help? During the baby boom following World War II, nearly 80 million babies were born. And for some reason, we can't do that again.
Your child's school nearly doubled its enrollment.
The result? Classroom shortage.
There weren't enough classrooms and desks.
They gave my boy half a seat.
To give every student some kind of education, many schools had resorted to teaching kids in shifts.
Oh, too bad.
Students sat at their desks for just 2 hours and then went home.
Instead, bumbling, stumbling Joe Biden would have us all replaced in favor of a New World Order autocracy of which he is an acolyte and a puppet.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
His deceptive intentions are so transparent, a 5-year-old can read between the lines.
I think this generation can be marked by the competition between democracies and autocracies, because the world is changing so rapidly. The autocrats are betting on democracy not being able to generate the kind of unity needed to make decisions to get in that race.
The crisis on the border is brutally real. As the numbers stand, by the end of 2021, the death toll in illegal immigrants who died trying to cross the border and the American citizens who will die as a result of illegal immigrants oblivious to our laws will rise, pushing an already record-high nationwide homicide rate over the cliff. And there are even more dire implications than that.
The concern at all points in time is, who are we not apprehending? If they, as we know, and we've heard from Border Patrol as we've been down here, that every day you see swells of people coming in to surrender to Border Patrol, and they know that at the same time, those are decoy operations because others are coming in another location. So if we've been fortunate enough to apprehend now 6, by my count, persons whose names are on the terrorist watch list, how many have we not apprehended? Particularly if that's where they're devoting their effort, those would be the high value people they want to get in.
Recently, Reuters reported Yemen's Houthi forces fired drones and missiles at the heart of Saudi Arabia's oil industry. The current flood of Yemeni terrorist gotaways could repeat the very same hell on earth that we witnessed during the Persian Gulf War on the state of Texas, which would send oil prices skyrocketing and our energy grid dangerously vulnerable. As Biden floods the border with potential criminals while simultaneously unveiling new gun restrictions and nominating a top gun control advocate to head the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives,
I want to see a national red flag law.
While waving his monstrous $2+ trillion Green New Deal infrastructure Trojan horse as America crawls out of a pandemic that could eventually wipe out 9 million small businesses, you can't help but conclude that America is being set up for annihilation. John Bound reporting.
Welcome back to Decide What Side, everybody. Yeah, so you just heard it. America is being set up for destruction.
Right. All they
is like annoying me because like it never. Anyway.
Well, the thing is, my biggest thing with that whole video is like the problems that government created. Now we're suffering the consequences. You know, it's like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Are we gonna like get more government involved? Because that doesn't seem to be working very well. You know. But anyway,
Yeah.
so it's like
It's all
we
starting to, like,
have
fuse together, government, corporations.
right. And you know, and the thing is, everyone like says, "Oh, there are immigrants that do the jobs that Americans don't want to do," and all that. And it's just like, well, that's not true because you know you always have dumb people, you always have unskilled labor, you always have jobs that are not the problem. My whole thing is like, okay, let's bring in temporary immigrant workers. That's fine, but let me and Chris, American citizens, easily start a business and hire 3 or 4 people at $50,000-$60,000 a year. You know, it's like make that a little bit easier for us, maybe, and then I wouldn't be so worried about someone picking fruit. But right now, it's like people are out of work. This is like the time to not have anybody coming in. Like, no, dude, like Americans, get out there, pick some food. You know.
Well, and also the fact that if we, the child sex trafficking rings are like benefiting enormously. It's like the best, like booming for business. And then like because some people might want to be here to escape poverty. Well, actually, it's pretty bad. I think in Honduras, I heard that before COVID, the unemployment rate in Honduras was 70%. Now it's 90%. 90%, dude. Unemployment.
Right.
And this is all being done on purpose. That's why they're hyping the hell out of this stupid virus that has a 99.9% survival rate. Collapse the third world, flood America with millions, hordes of refugees. It's all about destabilization, and they're doing this as they crash the dollar, and as they keep the lockdown persistent. They don't want you to get out of the lockdown because that's part of the plan. That's how they crash the economy.
Right.
That's how they consolidate power.
And it's not and the fucked up part of it. The messed up part about it is like it's not even that many people from these countries coming in. What does it take? Couple million this country, 3 or 4 million from this country, 2 million from this country. Small minority of people, maybe the lower rungs of, not necessarily the lower rungs of society, like the pieces of garbage, but people who don't need to be pushed very hard to do immoral things, I guess. I don't know if that you call that moral, immoral, whatever. But so it's not even like a lot of people. We probably have 300 million people in this country. I would wager about 10 to 15 million of them would be just like these illegal immigrants coming in if things got bad enough here. They would do whatever they kidnap kids, steal, murder, not give a shit when the cartel shoots somebody in the back of the head because I gotta go get my shit. I gotta go see my family in this safe country. It's like, okay, life's hard, so you just gotta do. It's like, okay, so it's like it's a minority of people, but it's enough to break. It's just stupid shit. Like it's supposed to demoralize us too. It's like you heard about that? It's an illegal immigrant or a migrant or a immigrant of any kind. If they lost their job during COVID, they get a one-time $15,000 payment or something like that.
What? Say that again. Repeat that one more time.
Yeah. Immigrants who lost their job during COVID get a one-time $15,000 payment. I think it might be illegal aliens too.
Wow,
it might be. So it's like, oh yeah, fuck you. You have to sit there and beg for months for your $1,000 check. For your $1,000 check, you have to sit there and beg for a year, and you may or may not get. I haven't got a single one. So whatever. I've never made more than like 30, 40,000. So yeah.
Yeah. Dang, don't expose yourself like that. Nah.
No, I'm just saying I've never made that more than that. So shouldn't I be in that, official Like, oh, this guy needs it. But nope, I haven't got a single one. So,
No, dude, you're white. That's literally
exactly
what they tell you. Biden said we're gonna help out the transgender. We're gonna help the obese transgenders in wheelchairs first, and then everybody else. So like, if you gotta be like super fucking unprivileged, in their eyes, to get this money.
Oh, dude, it's
That's
okay
why we have
though.
a studio, because I don't have the stimulus check yet.
Right? It's okay, Chris. No, it's okay because when I go to fly to my other prison camp called an American City on United Airlines, where I have to wear my mask, where I can pull it down to drink, but even then they may kick me off, like they've been doing to people. Kick off toddlers who don't want to wear the mask, but Chris, they're gonna have all black pilots. All black women. Dude, didn't you hear that? United Airlines, they're going to have all black women flying.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. Like, everything's great.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's like a pretty weird thing to come out and say.
Now they're going to try to get all these black women to fly planes, and they're going to get a bunch of dumbasses who don't know what they're doing, who shouldn't be flying a plane regardless of their race, color, or gender.
Man. They're gonna let Shamika on that plane. Nah.
No, it's like,
don't fucking unfollow me.
Dude, it's like, I don't care what race you are. You need to be in like the top 10 percentile of your class to be flying planes. And most people aren't that. So anyway. So while we do all this,
actually, black women are like the highest demographic of educated. I think that's one of their statistics, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're gonna be.
I mean, I'm not even supposed to be here, but whatever.
Well, dude. They actually have an advantage though during terrorist attacks. Those long fake nails are good for gouging eyes out. And then when like the terrorists grab their hair, it's fake weave, so they just yank it away, and it's just aha! And they get the eyes again. It's like bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. Anyways,
and demonetized.
What story we were talking about? Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we're okay. So we stream via 2 YouTube channels. One of them is Blessing777. The other one is DecideWhatSide. Right? Like,
yeah.
The thing is, we got strikes because we told people, hey, did you know that some people get this vaccine and then they get a nasty red rash? And here's the pictures. And, here's the mainstream media article, right? Because mainstream media is the truth. And then they say, oh, sorry, you're putting out medical disinformation.
I'll quote the CDC, and then it'll give a fact check from the CDC. It's real interesting.
Man, screw the CDC.
Right? No, I've never monetized this on YouTube. I'm like, probably not much point. Like, it's like
I don't even know what steps.
I've looked into it, and it's like, dude, we already have strikes. Yeah, we have. Well, no, your bank account and all that, but we have strikes already. And it's like they're probably not gonna do it.
The thing is that we went too hard too soon, so we got like the immediate ban, and it couldn't.
Oh well, we were
too real to grow.
That's why you need to go to DecideWhatSide at locals.com.
Yeah, actually, we need to start growing our alternative. But sometimes I'm like, maybe it's good that this didn't grow because I'm not gonna be first on the list when they start kidnapping people.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Back. So
Fuck that.
Hey,
Fuck
they're
that.
gonna go after Alex Jones first, man. Not me.
Yeah, whatever.
And I say that because Alex is like because I respect his trajectory and his career. I'm not saying that I make fun of Alex if this ever comes across his way. Just putting that out there.
Anyway, we have all kinds. We have multiple sources we're gonna be going towards. There's Rockfin, there's Rumble, there's Locals, there's all kinds of places you can make money. There's
OnlyFans.
We could. I mean, you don't have to be naked. You don't know. You don't have to. You don't have to be naked or do anything sick on OnlyFans. It's not only a sex site. It's actually just a content creator site. It's just girls use it mostly for that. So is what it is.
Yeah. Well, because I know some people do like cooking. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I know. It's just weird. Yeah.
I think speaking of which, did y'all hear that girl that was on Dr. Phil?
Yeah.
That girl.
Yeah, I just heard that from Sticks, Hex, and Hammer.
Dropped in OnlyFans.
Yeah, I made $1 million in like a month.
That feels so planned out, especially now that Dr. Phil's starting to kind of get exposed. I feel.
Yeah, isn't his ranch? It's his ranch is like getting exposed.
They were because she was streaming like really,
Excuse me,
contents, and she was like 15 or something. Like as soon as she like got famous, I feel like they were using her to push like pedophilia and what's the other one? Like when like that teens, right? They're still underage or minors.
Right. Pederast or something like that.
Another one.
Yeah. No, dude, and that's
then it's gonna go lower and lower, and then let me have a 1-year-old. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, anyone out there with a daughter, it's like, okay, your daughter can make a TikTok account or make a Twitch account, right? And she can sit there in spandex and shake her ass and everything all for an hour and a half and have dudes tip her, and she makes tons of money, like makes a few $100 in like an hour, just like dancing in all this spandex and shit. And then she like turns 18, she's like, well, shit, I can make way more money on OnlyFans because she's already been doing it. So it's just like this. It comes back to watch your damn kids. Don't just throw a device and be like, okay, it's fine.
Very good. That's pretty crazy. I never realized that, but that's very true. What you're saying there.
Oh, dude, I see it all the time on like YouTube and everything. Like 16-year-old girls just shaking their ass, like it's like advertising it to me, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this? It's like
Well, this like I didn't look it up. It was suggested.
Yeah, no, dude, YouTube. No, I've gotten pictures of YouTube. Like,
how do you stumble upon these suggestions? Nah.
Right. No, that's kind of my point. No, that's my point though. I'm not looking for it. It just pops up. Oh, shut up.
My bad. No, because there's this guy at work that told me that he gets on TikTok and like he was like, it's only 15 and 16-year-olds, dude. And I was like,
no.
And this is the same dude that, if y'all remember, he was weird. He would like pull all these weird like jokes where he'd be like, I was talking to this girl and we were gonna go on a date, and then I realized she was 13, and I was like, that's not funny. And then he'd be like, nah, I was just playing. And I'm like, why do you keep doing shit like that? And
that's not funny.
That's like, yeah, that's like
in every joke there's a grain of truth.
Like really big into going to Disney World. I don't think this kid will ever get back to him.
Yeah. No. Going to if you're excited to go to Disney World or something as an adult, there's something wrong with you. Sorry. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. But
anyway. So yeah. Anyway, the whole point is it's just we're degenerating further and further and further. You know, in Rome, this is what started happening. Little girls started being prostitutes. There's stories like 10-year-old girls being sold off and everything. Even younger infants. They got down to infants in the bad days. You know, and it's just like, Rome, they got bad.
Yeah.
They got bad. But it's like,
really?
It was just like, yeah, dude. No, that's, huh?
What year? Like 400? Like when the Visigoths?
It was like 450s, 400, 450s. It was like when it was just everybody's on all kinds of psychedelics, drunk, and having sex and orgies everywhere. They just didn't care anymore. Started literally eating children, and like the higher ups started eating children and shit.
I gotta say, Italians are pretty crazy.
No, dude, that's just demonic.
I mean, like,
it's every society, dude.
No, but I'm saying like they're kind of legal. But that's what I mean by crazy. My bad. The Italians are cool. I went there and they like showed me good stuff.
Yeah, well, Romans and Italians are not the same thing either. There's way too much time in between.
But there's the same but there's the same personality controlling that geographical area, and that spirit stays there, and the world is divided. So, like America is the land of the flying serpent, and Maruka in the ancient one of those languages.
Right. No, I get it.
That's why like regions stay really violent. Like the Middle East is the same gods, like the Molechs and all those Babylon gods of the past that were really like bloodthirsty and violent. Those spirits are still running Iran and you know what I mean, Iraq, that whole Middle East area that's been unstable since like forever.
Yeah. No, Italy is like where you got the Venetians, and that's if you get into that's where you find out gold is bullshit. Like gold is actually not really valuable. It's all fake. It's a kind of a fake. I mean, you can still use it. You can still use it, but it's a fake. It's a fake conception that gold is worth something. You know, it started out with priests exchanging gold for stores of grain, which you can then grow more grain or eat the grain, so it was actually valuable in that area. So they would exchange you gold coins as representation of said grain that they would keep in stock, and then they started what is it called? What's it called? Fractional reserve banking. That's where that started. They started giving out more gold than there was grain. So then, therefore, the gold price is inflated. And bada bing, bada boom, the first inflation, and gold is a scam by the Vatican. Good for us.
Hey, well, I don't know. Gold for a long time.
No, that's where it started.
But
the Vatican, the priest in Venetia started exchanging gold coins for something that actually was valuable: food. So gold is kind of fake.
Used for a long time. Maybe I don't know about currency, but it's been in use for sure, like a purchased item.
Yes, ever since the
Dante White.
What? I don't know.
The shoot. Okay, let me just load that up just to show you guys.
Right.
We're gonna eventually get to it. And if you're watching, let me know what you think. This is it. 59 seconds. This is Dante. Get out of this car.
This is after he carjacked it. He jacked the car. So, you know.
Why would you have to shoot him though?
Because he's trying to. Well, okay, this is not the video I saw. Okay. I guess supposedly.
Oh, because he had his hand. Oh. Oh, what?
Could you get the audio? Could you turn the audio on and we play it again? I don't think you had the audio on for us.
There wasn't really a lot. Like the tab has audio, but it's not really.
Okay, I didn't even hear a gunshot or anything.
There's not really any.
That's what. Okay.
You can hear like a faint. Oh. Hello, I am a winner.
Wow, what a dumbass cop.
Dumbass. There's like two people.
She was being easy. She was trying to be all nice about grabbing him. She wasn't just grabbing his arm, so she put her arm into the pit of his elbow, and the other cop thought she had him, so he let go, and at that point he jerked away and tried to get in. This is why you don't have women police. That dude knew that was a female cop. He knew he could probably get away from her. I'm sorry to be so blunt about it.
This segment of Hard Truth by Wesley Boyd has been brought to you by. We gotta have
feminine pads.
Hard Truth. Oh.
Bam. Boom, right there. What the frick?
But like, what made him think he could actually get away and like have better? Like, would your life be better if you had? I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into it. Whatever. Made a wrong.
He knew. He was, dude.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Oh no. Well, it's like as far as if he could get away, dude. It actually happens quite a bit. If they can get away and like get to a friend's house, duck into the hood and like dip away, like yeah, they get away. But it's just like,
wait, you got away, Wesley?
No, yeah. I've never gotten away from the cops. I've known people who have, and it's like they drive so far ahead of the cops and they go take like back roads for so long and the cops can't catch them. So I've seen that. That's funny.
Oh.
But anyway, no, it's like
everybody like the terrain.
Yeah, just the back roads. It's pretty funny. Dark, pitch dark on like a moonlit night. Turn off your headlights. Whoa! I knew a dude who like he went like 100 miles an hour through the mountains, getting chased by the cops, and they could never identify his truck or get it on camera, so they could never prove it was him. And they just came to us and said, "I knew it was you."
What?
And they're like, "You," and he's like, "Prove it." And he's like, I can't." And he's just like, "Fuck you." He's like, "Fuck you." And then the dude was only 16 though, so his dad took his car and scrapped it. His fast fucking modded out fucking crazy truck. He just took it and fucking destroyed it. So.
Like a crazy country boy.
Yeah, dude, he just souped it up in the high school shop. Anyway, back to this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this guy thought he could get away, I think because there was a female cop who was trying to be easy. And then she panicked and grabbed her gun instead of her taser. That's it. That's what I've heard. That she was going for her taser, not her gun. And that's why she kind of was kind of freaked out at the end.
On this segment of Why Women Are Wrong.
Why women shouldn't be cops.
No, but I mean, why would you have Yeah, women shouldn't be cops, though. I mean, not if you're dealing with like heavy duty stuff. I don't think so. But somebody's
Right. Or at least that woman. I'll say that woman shouldn't be a cop.
Yeah, maybe Serena Williams can go ahead, but not this woman.
Yeah, it's like should have been the first thing.
Like a lesbian. She had like buzz cut hair like a dude and wore like shirts and casual and like Converse and stuff. And like she thought she was like a dude, and, like she was cool.
Right. Now, but
when you guys don't look at me and while I'm doing my lecture, it hurts my feelings. And we were like,
right.
Yeah, come on, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like that. I keep getting focused on that moment because, like, I've done things in my life where, like, I've like self-defense, and as soon as she started going for his arm, I saw him like kind of do a little relax. I'm like, oh shit, he's going for something. At that point, and she wasn't ready for it, and she got yanked away. That other cop, I saw him kind of tense up because he saw it. He saw it coming. He was instinctual. So, and then but he couldn't get away because she was in the way, and he couldn't grab him. So she got in the way of someone who was trying to. I don't know. It just irritates me. Like, this whole thing could have been fixed if we just would have had somebody who could have kept their head on straight and been a real like authority figure.
Man. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, no one wants anybody to die. That man would have, it sucks. But, I mean,
right?
This dude is like a gangbanger. Right? I mean,
right.
I hate that they always make it out to seem as if this dude was at church 7 days a week and like, was helping out the orphanage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
it's convenient. Nobody
like questionable activities.
It's convenient. Nobody heard about that school shooting today because it was some gangbanger kid having a freaking gang shootout. So nobody got to hear about that. That doesn't count. I can't remember where it was. There was like
happening yesterday.
Dude, the MK Ultra flipped the switch, I swear. There's like 3 or 4 shootings in the last 2 days.
Oh yeah, I have heard, but how many people?
I don't know, dude.
Up everything. We're in the phase of destabilization. The globalists have run these destabilization collapse of countries all around the world. I mean, the Arab Spring. What's another one? Give me another one. Iran. No, not Iran. Iraq.
The color revolution when you get down to it.
Yeah.
The Bolshevik Revolution.
World War II.
Yeah, no, like these people are behind everything, and
on America now. Yeah,
right.
Same type of playbook. I mean, they're trying to divide everybody by race. In Yugoslavia, they went by the ethnicity, by like the tribe or clan. Like Serb versus Croat versus religion. And now they're trying to incite old feuds. It's like I was reading this book about this dude that survived it, and he said the media started bringing up old beefs from like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, like here in America. Don't forget slavery, even though only 2% of Southerners aren't slaves, right? Or less than 2%,
right?
And even though most people ended up coming over after that,
right?
Over with.
I have a rule that says unless you experienced it, you don't get to be offended by it. You can talk about it, it can be an outrage, but you can't be personally offended by it. Like, I'm sorry, it didn't happen to you.
So you're saying I can't be offended if I don't know.
Did it happen to you?
But check this out. Protesters shut down Manhattan Bridge in solidarity with Dante Wright and the Brooklyn Center community. It's funny how this dude shows up with a weed backpack.
A shitty one too. Couldn't even get a nice jacket. We got Kate. We got fucking Dr. Penguin here.
So they shut down so cars couldn't get to work, is what you're telling me? And
Yeah. So people from disenfranchised neighborhoods who are just trying to get by couldn't get to work. Oh, good. That's a win for the disenfranchised right there. Poor people couldn't get to work.
Police were in process. Black and white protests are beginning to pop all over the country in response to officer involved shooting death of 20-year-old Dante Wright. A Brooklyn Center police officer shot and killed Dante Wright Sunday night. Police were in the process of cuffing Wright during a traffic stop when he broke free and jumped in his car. According to the police chief, the officer accidentally discharged a weapon instead of using a taser. Dante Wright crashed his car after he tried to flee the scene. A massive Black Lives Matter protest formed outside the Brooklyn Center Police Department Monday night, and other cities joined in solidarity. By solidarity, they mean looting GameStop, looting O'Reilly. Solidarity. Let me get one of my tail lights is out. Let me go get that new one at AutoZone for free.
Right. No, the stack of Nikes is for. This stack of Nikes is for Dante Wright, man.
They're like, that's what you get for charging $2 for a Snickers. Because you know O'Reilly's expensive.
Right.
So here we have Rashida Tlaib calling for complete anarchy, demanding no more police or prisons following Dante Wright's death. Even though he was a gangster, yes, obviously it'd be better if like police hadn't killed him, but I mean they're choosing like one instance out of like 360 million people. So like the one time a cop messes up and then they're trying to say it's because of racism. It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense. And you can see that the groups that are starting the looting are all funded by George Soros and the Democrat war machine. And this is a destabilization plan. You know, it's not even like black people are out there doing this. You know, they have their Antifas. Who knows how many of these people are mind controlled? I mean, we know
right.
It carries out this sort of stuff. We've got, you know, MK Ultra, MK Naomi.
Right. Right. Anyway.
Like we know these things go on. Shit. My bad. Something fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to like hype up the race riot, the riots, kind of like from last summer. Remember last summer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think they're just trying to make this a part of the normal background. So you'll just get used. Oh, of course they looted this store. Of course they broke in here. Every day in this city, that city, destabilization nationwide. Make chaos a part of everyday life. They want everybody in a constant state of like fear or uncertainty or panic because they know, problem, same old problem, reaction, solution.
Right.
They want another thing, the problem to get the specific reaction. And they're trying to play everybody against each other, But at the end of the day, look at Bill Gates saying we need to lower the world population, and oh, here's the vaccine. When then he's had TED Talks where he says we've got to lower the world population either by vaccines or by, I forgot what he says, but like he's putting it out there in your face. I mean, this is the family of eugenicists that was running the Nazis. Well, at the end of the day, they have to collapse America if they want to have world control. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where it all ends up at the end of the day. And then
all right. Well, last thing I'll say about this is like, this is not a, people want to make this out that they don't want reform. All these people writing, they don't want reform because you know what the real reform talk is? Real reform talk is the police should have handled the situation better. Like I said, that female cop should have done better the way she grabbed him. She shouldn't have grabbed her gun. She should have grabbed her taser. For one, that was unsafe. There was a cop on the other side of the car, and there was her partner right there next to her. So that was a dumb situation. My thing is, I don't think I heard him start the car. So I think the car was still running when they pulled him out of there, which that's a dumb move. And then he starts driving away, and they're all standing there all shocked. They're not getting in their car and getting on. So this is just, to me, this is just a bad policing problem. If they could have secured him correctly right away and pulled him out of the car again, none of this would have ever happened. So that's really, that is the real talk people need to have.
Sometimes maybe they assumed the danger was over because there was 3 people. You know, so they like got overconfident. Anyway,
right.
I wanted to show you this video.
Anyway,
I think it's like the Brooklyn police chief trying to deny there was any rioting. Trying to check it out. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm just saying, the line will never end. The line will never end. Don't get used to. Don't go looking for mainstream media to tell you the truth because it's a lie fest from here on out.
What was your decision to issue a dispersal order while they were peacefully protesting in front of the police station? What led to you to issue a dispersal order? And then on the back end of that 10-minute dispersal order, then to issue out CO2 canisters and gas for the crowd.
So,
can you talk to us about that?
Just so everybody's clear, I was front and center at the protest, at the riot. We did not.
Don't do that. There was no riot.
There was. So we were being, the officers
never mind.
that were putting themselves away were being pelted
at
with frozen cans.
That was awkward.
They were being pelted with concrete.
Wow.
And yes, we had our helmets on.
He's a bitch.
Protection gear, but an officer was injured, hit in the head with a brick. That was a Hennepin County deputy.
He's like begging them to understand.
We had to make decisions. We had to disperse the crowd because we can't allow our officers to be harmed. And I've already answered the question, I believe, about your lighting. I know that's a big deal with you, and I understand that, but I thought I'd explain that myself. So that is, I told you it's my decision, and that's why I made that decision. Is there another question? Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the room's tense. I can feel it.
Yes, ma'am.
That dude's like the vice principal. I don't feel any authority I don't feel any authority from him.
Dang, Wesley calling him out has no ball.
Down. Dude, like people start interrupting him. He's like, like instead of taking charge of the room, like, hey, you're here to ask me questions. Shut up. Let me answer.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway,
you've got to like. I mean, this dude's probably ex-military, maybe. But like, how come you can't? Because moral courage is harder than physical courage, you know. And a lot of people don't have what it takes to go out there and do the right thing, you know, facing the leftist mob and the globalist mob. I mean, That's what we're saying, people. Decide what side. You never know. One day you're gonna have to make. It's coming after everybody. But yeah, this is totally wimped out. Let me play it again.
One final question. What was your decision to issue a dispersal order while they were peacefully protesting in front of the police station? What led
Peacefully
you to issue a
protesting.
dispersal order?
Peacefully protesting. Let me rewind that. The reporter's like, well, they were peacefully protesting. You want me to show you the looting of Dollar General or Dollar Tree, whatever it's called?
Protesting in front of the police station. What led to you to issue a dispersal order, and then on the back end of that 10-minute dispersal order, then to issue out CO2 canisters and gas for the crowd?
So,
can you talk to us?
Yeah, just so everybody's clear, I was front and center at the protest, at the riot. We did not.
Don't do that. There was no riot.
There was. So
okay.
We were being, the officers that were putting themselves in harm's way were being pelted with frozen cans of pop. They were being pelted with concrete blocks.
Man.
And yes, we had our helmets on and we had other protection gear, but
they were like,
an officer was injured.
Don't do that.
Hit in the head.
Don't do that. There was no riot.
There was.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, just so everybody's clear.
Don't do that. Narrative needs to be set. Don't do that.
At the riot. We did not.
Don't do that. There was no riot.
There was.
Don't do that.
So we were being, the officers
anyway
who were putting themselves in harm's way were being pelted with frozen cans.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There was a Dollar Tree that got looted. There was a like a lot of things that got broken into. I was reading it last night as it was happening. But like, it's all about destroying like the truth and reality. And it's like, I'm in Austin, right? And a lot of times I'll go see things downtown, and like, it's not like the media can easily sell story, of what happened. Don't let them lie to you. Check this out. Oh, super peaceful. But what does this have to do with Dante Wright? I mean, Jesus. I mean, this isn't to try to like blame people. It's about saying the globalists are pulling the strings, trying to get certain reactions. You know what I mean? And because they know that as society collapses, people it gets to the point where everybody just goes and sticks to their own group, even if they're not necessarily, even like, it just it kind of like dissolves just like people from being friends. It's really weird. Happens in a lot of places. As society collapses, everyone just starts going by race, just like by default, because that's the only way people trust each other now. But it's all by plan. It's all on purpose. Maybe we should hit on the spars.
Unless you want to do one tomorrow. You want to just do one tomorrow? We can do that. We can do all about spars and all that.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Since we missed Saturday.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to DecideWhatSide and Blessings 777. Locals.com, Rockfin, Rumble, Twitter, and Periscope. Leave a comment. If you watched, leave a comment. I need to start saying that. Leave comments. Yeah, leave a comment. Thumbs up. And we will see you next time.
All right.